second recipe of the day. For you viewers, this might be episode 4. Yeah. However, this is the one that I'm excited about. Jane told me this right at the start, and I was like, no, that's going to freak me out because it's too good and I'll get it wrong too soon. But I'm ready.
Good.
What are we doing?
We're going to make a beautiful soft poached chicken breast in a sort of spicy Asian style broth.
Wow.
And we're going to make it in the easiest way I know how. Probably not traditional, but we'll get a beautiful flavoured stock. And once you've got this stock, you can then add all sorts of things to it. We're going to do the easiest one. You can do your noodles. So we often use these rice noodles because we've got gluten-free household. Yeah. But you can use the instant straight-to-wok noodles and just pour the broth over with the chicken. Use it with pork, shrimp, all sorts of things. So it's a really lovely one to have.
I'm here. I'm just cleaning out my pan.
Your pan?
Yeah, I'm just cleaning.
Okay, no promise.
I haven't got a big kitchen or a big pan-based lunch.
Well,
what I did there, pan-based.
I often forget when I'm doing recipes. I'm so used to having electric hand whisks and 3 or 4 different pans to hand.
Yeah.
And then when I cook with people, I realise that that you have to really pare it back. And this has been great for me because I've had to think, you can't do that. I'm so used to having my sous vide machines and my ice cream machines and everything else. Never used to, obviously. I went through the whole of MasterChef with a hand whisker and a blender, a hand blender. Just never had the money, Gemma, to spend on that sort of stuff.
Of course. And I think that's why, this is important, the way, we're doing it like we're doing it, We want, I think the thing is we want it to be as, from an eating disorder support point of view, I remember how much I loved cooking, but how scary it could be as well, and I think what we're trying to do is make it accessible.
Yes.
For everyone, so that this is about the joy of it. Do you know what I mean?
But this is what I want to show. I think a lot of the time we were talking about this, but a lot of cookery shows make food to be intimidating. And I certainly think by the end of MasterChef, I think that a lot of people look at that and think, that's beautiful, but I never can achieve that.
Yeah.
You want to bring it back to almost when I started on the show, when I was cooking at home for 4 kids, half the time I was exhausted and just thinking, what can I feed them that's reasonably healthy?
Yeah.
I can do it in between, rushing between clubs or whatever. And actually they're going to enjoy it. And I enjoy it because you don't want to be cooking the same thing every week. That's boring.
Yeah. But especially as we've been during lockdown, it's been hard to sort of reinvent. And this is why I was so excited about this, because as a northern lass, you do your stock cooking, don't you? You do your big shepherd's pie and your cottage pie and all of that. But actually it's so nice for me, when we've done the shows in the past, I feel really proud.
Yeah, good.
Well,
hopefully you're cooking. Have you cooked any of it since?
Yes, I've done the frittata.
Oh, fabulous.
I've done the frittata twice now.
Brilliant.
I've definitely, I used do you remember when we did the heritage salad, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, but you said that actually that could be the base of pasta sauce.
Yes.
Done that.
Fantastic. And that's a beautiful pasta sauce, isn't it?
Really nice.
Stick some prawns into it or something.
Yeah.
Right, brilliant. Hang on 2 seconds.
It's all right. Carry on rolling. It's real life.
Well, my daughter's here, as you know. She's living here at the moment, and she's got her dog too. So we've got 3.
Well,
my daughter's too old and too deaf.
Don't worry, Ruby's not here today. She's at doggy daycare, just because, for info, we're filming this the same Graham tragically died. So I've been doing lots of interviews, raising awareness. But Ruby, she survived yesterday and she was on Radio 5 Live, BBC Breakfast. But today I was like, do you know what? I'm doing Island AMTV this morning. We're cooking. I don't need that anxiety.
Well, doggy daycare is lovely as well.
She loves it. She didn't want to come back.
Right. So I've got here these dried mushrooms. Now, any mix of dried mushrooms that you want, but I find these a fantastic way to get flavour into things. And we only want about 5 grams. So literally like a small handful.
And are you putting that into a measuring jug?
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight into a measuring jug. again, this is only to give people a rough idea. Normally you just pour it in, but we want to do it into a measuring jar. And if you put your kettle on, love, please. Fill your kettle up, put your kettle on.
It's going to make a noise, might not be able to hear me.
Literally just a small handful. Couple in the bottom. They are brilliant. I use these all the time. So if I'm doing a quick spag bowl or something and I want a quick hit of flavour, I'll soak a few of these in some boiling water and just chop them up and put them in with the spag bowl.
Oh, okay, I'll use that.
Yeah, they don't none of these ingredients that we're buying to do this, they really don't want them in the back of the cupboard and then not use them again. Or if you want to make a mushroom pasta again, just use that amount, a bit of boiling water, do your mushrooms and everything else, but chop these through and you'll get a really intense hit of mushroom.
Wow, okay, brilliant.
So they are a really useful ingredient to have in the kitchen. And don't have to buy an expensive mix of them. Okay.
Sorry, wait me a minute.
Right, so you got your jug
with
your mushrooms in the bottom, and we're just going to put about 1 litre of boiling water onto that.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to leave those to sit. You should smell that lovely mushroom smell almost straight away.
Oh my goodness.
Really strong. And then just going to add, whilst that's resting, we're going to chop up finely a shallot or a small onion.
Yeah.
I've just got a white onion here. I'm going to just use half.
I've got a little banana shallot.
That's perfect. I couldn't get banana shallots. They sub by order.
Yes, yeah. No, well, we've got a really lovely farmers market around the corner in Fulham on a Saturday and a Wednesday. And there was some banana shallots there. I was like,
perfect. I use them all the time because they're so easy.
Yeah.
If you slice them down the middle, you can just peel them off and chop them. They really are the easiest ones to use.
Yeah. Got mine.
Yeah, and we're going to put those in a saucepan.
In the saucepan. Do I need to put anything in the saucepan before that?
We're going to put a splash of oil, but just a splash because we want this to be quite light and healthy.
Is this olive oil?
Any oil.
Any oil.
I tend to use, when I'm doing Asian type dishes, more veggie oil. But if you've only got olive oil, that's fine.
No, I've got vegetable oil.
It's only a splash to stop it sticking as it's cooking.
And she's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
pop those in, yeah?
Yeah, put those on, just on a low heat. And we're going to take a chilli. Now, I don't know how much you like chilli.
I'm going to confess, I am not a chilli girl. However, I am willing to do a small one.
Okay, fine. Well, we're going to leave that later. If you really like chilli, you can, and the way I'd say to do it, if you're not very keen on chilli, use one of these big red ones and leave the base intact and just cut it in half like that. And what we're going to do is put that in the broth when we're cooking the broth. You taste the broth. As soon as it's hot enough, you take that out.
Oh, I thought you would chop them up.
No, because if you chop them up and put them in something, if it's too spicy, have you chopped it up already? No worries, no worries. But it's a tip for future.
Yeah,
if you're not sure how much chilli you like, then the thing to do is do that.
Yeah.
Because then you can just, and put it in the broth, and as you poach it, you can bring it out as it's hot enough. Even in spag bowl or chilli or something, leave them whole, cut them in half, cook it out when you're happy.
I might just put a tiny little bit in then.
That's okay. Have you got some ginger?
Yep.
Brilliant. And have you got a grater?
I've done it.
Well done. Oh, well. So I'm just going to grate, and this is how easy. About half an inch of ginger into there, fresh ginger. The ginger can be quite spicy. Yeah. Put that in with some of your chilli, about a quarter of your chilli, just to make sure it's not too hot for you.
Yeah.
Now, I always use the skin on ginger because my Mum's next door neighbour, who's very fantastic cook, never peels her ginger.
Right, I didn't know that.
It's flavour, as long as it's not filthy dirty, which most of it isn't that we get. Just another job you need to do that isn't necessary. Mum's very fiercely cooking there.
That's it.
Nice and slow cooking. Nice stir. Then add your garlic in. Now we always cook your onion off so it's nice and soft before you add your garlic, because burnt garlic adds a real horrible bitterness to your dish.
Yeah.
Whereas and onions take longer to cook than garlic. So I cook my onions till they're almost done, and then we'll add the garlic in. Now, if you love garlic too, if you're not so keen one, we rather love garlic in this house.
Oh, I love it.
It's actually really good for you.
What, garlic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's supposed to be good for the blood.
Yeah. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Snap. But this is the thing, this is the beautiful thing about cooking with these Asian type flavours. You can't really go wrong.
Yeah.
And when I say add half a piece of ginger, some ginger will be hotter than others, some garlic's hotter than others, some onions are bigger than others. The whole idea is don't stress about it, you're using all these beautiful ingredients, it's going to taste lovely.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, anything with garlic, ginger and onion makes your kitchen smell delicious. Sorry, Mama. Okay?
Yeah.
You got your lemongrass. Did you get lemongrass or?
Yeah.
Right. If you've got lemongrass, if you don't want to use it, don't. But if you have got it, we just want to take the whole thing and bash the end of it to release the lovely flake smells and like that. Just bash it with the end of your knife. Or a rolling pin or a saucepan. I find it really quite woody if you try and chop it up. The ones that we get are quite dry. So this is my way of using it. Yeah. So we put that in.
Yeah.
Just cook it.
Oh my God, that smells amazing.
It does already. You see, it doesn't need to be. I think people, when you're first learning, you need quantities of stuff. But actually, as you start to do these things, you think, I like more lemongrass, I like more ginger, I like more chili, and you make that recipe your own. That's what we write recipes for, is for you to make them your own.
Yeah.
You've got coriander and basil there, yeah?
Yeah.
So what we want to do is to take stalks. Can you easily? Oh, you've chopped it already. Fine. I use the stalks at this stage. Don't put the leaves in. And it really doesn't matter if you haven't. It's not an exact thing. But I hate waste again.
Yeah.
And coriander and basil stalks often get discarded.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm just going to put those in. Or you can just put in half of your herbs that you've already cooked.
So you're going to put it all in, yeah?
Half of it.
So a bit of basil and a bit of coriander.
Yeah. I've just used the stalks, but again, don't be too panicky.
And am I saving some? Am I saving some?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to finish the dish off.
Okay.
Now, is your garlic and onion looking cooked?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Have you got a sieve there?
Do I need a big sieve?
If you haven't, don't worry.
I have. Yeah.
And we're going to just pour this straight into your pan. Okay? You can just pour it in if you want, but these mushrooms are quite big and unpleasant, I think, to eat big and woody like that. So I either take them out and, as I say, use them in spaghetti or something, or chop them finely and put them back in.
What are you going to do?
Well, I would chop them fine and put them back in because I love mushroom. But taste your broth because already you should be getting quite a nice flavour and see how you feel.
Okay.
I think you do just a little bit more flavour. So I'm going to chop mine up and put the dried mushrooms back. Yeah, but they do need to be chopped because they're quite, I think if you eat them in a big lump, they're a bit bitter.
Yeah.
And they're also quite a nasty texture, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, as you know, if you've eaten any Thai food or whatever, they are always leave the aromats in. So you're picking out big lumps of the green peppers or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, this is personal choice. You can bring this to the boil and let it simmer and then strain it.
Yeah.
So you get rid of all those big aromats. I tend to just pick out the lemongrass and the chili if I've left it whole.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the bits, but that's personal preference again. I'm going to leave them in because I like bits, but it's up to you.
So you put the mushrooms back in chopped, yeah?
I've chopped them up and put them back in. Okay. Oh, taste that now, Gemma. Can you taste the Hopefully you can begin to taste it already. Oh dear, too much chili.
No, it's lovely.
Good. Okay. Happy?
Yeah.
Right, we're going to add just a tablespoonful of soy sauce. Have you got some soy sauce?
Yeah.
Now my soy sauce, because it's gluten-free one, is really strong. If you've got the Kikkoman, it's not quite so strong. So I'm only going to add a tablespoon, but you might want to add a bit more.
You know, I feel like I need a bit more ginger.
Okay, add it. That's the beautiful thing about cooking, and that's the lovely thing about doing this. You add what you need. I think you're right. I can taste the garlic. I can't taste the ginger. So let's add a bit more ginger.
Are you the opposite way around?
No, I think it needs a bit more oomph. I'm going to add a little bit more ginger in. You can really taste that lemongrass, I think.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
I'm so pleased you said that because that's when I make recipe up, I'm trying to say to somebody, if you say juice of a lemon, I can get 3 or 4 tablespoons out of this, or 2, depending how old the lemon is.
Yeah.
You have to taste things yourself. It's your dish.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is giving you the building blocks, and I want you all to go out there and experiment and taste. And tasting is the biggest thing as you're cooking.
Yeah, because then I've often made the mistake of getting it so wrong because I haven't tasted it as I've gone through the recipe.
I think that's the big thing. And at the moment, we've got a dish that's, I think you will taste it. It's just a little bitter, but don't worry, we'll balance that out at the end.
Have you put? Did you say with the Kikkoman put 2 tablespoons in?
Put 1 in and then taste it and see what you think. Mine is quite strong soy sauce, but I quite like the flavour of it. But it's one of those things you can't take it out, but you can put more in.
Yeah. Needs a little bit more.
Yeah. And we don't need any salt or obviously anything because the soy sauce is very salty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marvellous.
How are we doing?
Right, where are we up to?
Perfect. Right. Have you got any greens or anything to put in this? Did you get any Cavelo Nero or Choi or? Brilliant. So we've got our greens. didn't get mine delivered, but I've got Cavelo Nero. Anything like Choi Sam, Pak Choi, anything like that. Just prep it. With that one, I cut it. Just cut it into 4.
So do I
chop the end off and then just cut it into 4.
As in, sorry, I keep asking questions. Is it 1, 2, 3?
No, lengthways, love. Sorry. So you've got nice quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm going to cut my cabbage because it's Cavelo Nero into strips because it can be quite tough. Your one will cook a lot quicker.
And do I put 2 in or do I just do the 1?
I would do 1 because we haven't got massive amount of broth here on purpose because, you know, obviously it's a very simple recipe to just double up or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do is turn your broth right down to low. So it's just barely simmering. There's hardly any bubbles coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah? And then you've got your chicken breast. I've got a whopper of a chicken breast.
I've got... Have you put your stuff in?
Just leave it to one side for the moment because it's not going to take long to cook. So we've got a lovely chicken breast whole. And we're going to poach this. If we put it into boiling liquid, it's going to do what any mussel does. And it's going to really tighten up and be very hard. So the idea of poaching is to do it slowly and just keep it at that very gentle heat. And it's going to cook through very gently.
You've got 2, haven't you?
No, I've only got 1, but if you want to use 2, use 2.
Yeah.
This is a monster one. You can use as many as you want. And we're just going to butterfly that. So carefully lay your hand on top of the chicken breast.
Yeah.
And using a knife, cut. Doesn't have to be precise. Just cut. And the reason we're doing this is it's going to make it easier to cook. I've got a little bit of a hole in mine, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I got a hole as well.
Because if we do a whole chicken breast, the thickness of it makes it quite difficult to poach. Whereas if we cut them in half like this, they're easier to do and quicker to do.
Yeah.
We're just going to lay them straight into our broth. Now, let me wash my hands and clean down some raw chicken.
Oh, do you know what? I'll put that in. Going in.
I'm just going to wipe down raw chicken.
Yes.
And wash your hands.
Wipe down.
Yeah, I'm just washing my tongs up.
Marvellous.
Okay. Now, you can see your chicken's already changing colour. It's still very raw. Don't worry, we're going to let it to do its thing slowly. The whole idea of poaching chicken is you're getting the flavour into your broth of the chicken, but also you're letting that meat just relax into being cooked and not tightening up. So while we're doing that, we're going to prep the rest of our bits to finish the dish. Now, anything can go in this that you like, your lovely fresh vegetables. Bean sprouts, beautiful. As I say, if you want to add noodles or make rice or anything like that, please feel free. It's one of those dishes to be, to experiment with and have fun with.
What, so you can put rice in it as well?
I would cook the rice separately.
Yeah.
And just serve it almost as a side dish.
Yeah.
So I'm now chopping up the rest of my basil and coriander, but you've got yours done already because you are more prep than me today.
Well, no, it was only because I knew that this morning I had the a TV interview.
Yes.
So I already had to be up at the crack of dawn. I was like, I'm not going to have a chance to get myself together. And I remember the last time we did, me and Mum were like running around the kitchen going, and I thought, no, lesson learned, be organised.
Oh, bless you. Right, hang on 2 seconds. Apologies, I've got to go let my dog in.
It's all right. Oh, I'm learning so much. Do you know what I actually learned? I know that Jane's not here, so I'm talking to you, whoever's watching. Hi. What I actually learned as well is any leftover herbs. Oh, I was just talking to, I knew you weren't there, but I was just saying, any leftover herbs you can freeze. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and garlic too. You can grate the garlic. And you know what's a really useful way to do it? Is freeze it in ice cube trays.
Oh, so it's like stock lot.
If you've done a little bit of this stock and you wanted to freeze some herbs, say for instance, you could just stick the herbs in with the stock in an ice cube tray, and then you've got instant flavour.
What's that?
And again, don't waste. Don't waste. It's all good.
So I've chopped all my herbs are there. Don't put them in yet.
No.
I should do that too.
It won't take long. Can you see? It's not far off being done, is it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. While we're waiting for that, we're just going to chop our fresh mushroom finely. Mine are definitely not button mushrooms, but they're fine.
Oh my God, that tastes amazing. I can really start to taste the flavours now.
Yeah, it just comes together. And at the end, we're going to bring it together with some lovely fresh herbs. If you like some fresh chopped chilli and a little squeeze of lemon or lime juice. So I'm going to chop my mushrooms. Mine are a bit big, but nice and fine little mushrooms.
Yeah, mine are a bit too chunky.
Yeah, well, if you need to chop them in half or whatever, it's...
And how many? What
size mushroom you got, love?
Just like your normal, like white your white slice.
So 2 or 3, enough. You just...
I love mushrooms.
Here, I would say for 2 people.
Yeah.
But again, depends how hungry you are, and it's such an easy recipe to double up on, you know.
The thing is, a lot of the time, like when, living on my own like I do, any leftovers just go in the freezer for another night, and it's a meal that's already there,
Well, this you could do if you had a piece. You can make this. As I say, rice noodles are one of my favourite things because we can't eat ordinary noodles. But I know my daughter uses the straight to wok noodles.
Yeah.
So you just pour this over those straight to wok noodles and fried off a piece of steak or slung in some prawns or something. You've got a really lovely dinner.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to just check my chicken, which isn't far off being cooked. But I'm also going to now put in my greens.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you'll put in your pak choy.
Yeah.
And you can add sliced carrot, whatever you want to this, Gemma. As I said, I didn't want the ingredient list to become so large that it puts people off. But by the same token, it's one of those dishes that lends itself to... Let's have a look what we've got in the fridge.
I love it. I'm all about that.
Okay, I think that's tasting really lovely. And taste it yourself. If you feel you need to splash more soy sauce or something, and please use it. A lot of people would add fish sauce or sesame oil.
Oh,
Keeping this clean and simple, but you're more than welcome to.
Oh, I've got a bit of sesame oil. Can I put that in?
Yes, of course. You can use that to dress at the end. I would use that to dress at the end more.
Yeah.
Just to add a bit of flavour.
That's tasting amazing.
Yeah. We're nearly there on the chicken front for sure.
Yeah, I think mine are.
So let's put our mushrooms in. Just to give them a little bit of cooking. Yeah?
Yeah, mine's getting there.
Good. And the thing is, don't be stressed. If you pull your chicken out because you think it's cooked and it's not,
Yeah.
or you've got one bit that's much thicker than the other, you can put it back in.
Right.
It's not a, oh my God, I'm going to pull this out and ruin this dish. It's a, oh look, that needs a little bit more cooking.
Yeah.
Or the end of this is a lot thinner than the other bit. I don't need to cook that as long as I can chop that off. It really is a stress-free dish in that respect, I think.
Mine's nearly done.
So I wanted to show you
Yeah.
how juicy and succulent, look, you can literally see the juices running out of that. The chicken is. We've got a little bit on the end, which was just a bit thicker that I'm going to pop back in.
Have you sliced the chicken up then?
Sorry?
Have you sliced it up?
Yeah, just sliced it. On the diagonal if you can, only because it looks pretty, but don't worry about it.
So you take the chicken out, check it, and then slice it.
You can tell by touching it, it should be slightly soft. Now we're just gonna slice it on the horizontal. So always slice meat away from the grain because it's tender. Never slice it with its grain. But I'm really hoping you can see, look, that is just melt in your mouth, tender, soft, beautifully cooked chicken.
So when you do that again, Jane, you said slice it away from the grain?
Yes, so if you've got your chicken breast, always slice it. Let me show you, try and show you one. Right, where's the bit that we hadn't done? I'm now looking around for the bit of chicken that I put back in. I can't find it. There it is. Oh, it's only a little bit, but if you've got your chicken breast, your whole chicken breast, and the lengthways bit, slice it diagonally on the lengthways bit.
Got ya.
So you end up with the bits like this. If you slice it with the grain, and that applies to any meat, be it steak, be it anything.
Oh, wow.
How are we getting on?
And then do you put those slices back in?
No, they're cooked. We don't want to overcook them. We spent all that time beautifully poaching them.
Yeah.
I say all that time. It was what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
It's really not very long. So bean sprouts in this are particularly beautiful.
But water chestnuts and that.
Exactly. Anything like that, Gemma. Anything. I'm going to take my lemongrass out as well.
Yeah.
And my whole chili, unless somebody loves chili and wants to eat a whole one.
Not me.
No. It is one of those things that becomes a bit addictive, though.
Oh, I bet. I mean, like, even as like I eat like at 36, you know, my taste buds are changing all the time.
Yes. And that's the great thing is if you just try things, that's all I say to people. Don't close your mind to food, try it.
Mm.
And I think the thing is with this broth, a purist would say it looks a bit muddy, it's not clear. But for me at home, I don't really care about that. I want the flavour.
Yeah. Mm.
Taste again, Gemma. Have you got your chicken out?
Yeah.
Perfect. I think we should be close to being able to bring this together.
It's so flavoursome, but it's not overpowering, if that makes sense.
It's just, I think it tastes like healthy in the bowl, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so like,
yeah,
you say clean.
And a lot of these dishes ask for ingredients that you can't really get, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make, well, this is the one I make at home, and I'm sure a lot of purists will tell you that I've done certain things wrong, but for me, it's the easiest way to get a really lovely Asian tasting soup. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think we're all ready to go to plate up. As I say, you could put your rice or your noodles in the bottom of a bowl if you wanted. Noodles, I think, are preferable, or serve rice separately. And a squeeze of lemon or lime juice, just to add that freshness to the dish, and that makes so much difference. Add a little bit, you can always add more. You start off with a little.
I only just discovered about the joys of lemon juice because I did a homemade soup, and it said at the end put a splash of lemon juice in, and I was like, what? And I was like, oh yeah, I get it.
I think sometimes, yeah, don't put too much, just to squeeze and taste it, because sometimes more, some lemons are more acidic than others, and you can always add more, but you can't take it. I think sometimes in European cooking, you tend to add more salt. And actually, one of the things that cooking with more Asian flavors has taught me, that acid is really important too. And you need sometimes that hit of lemon juice. So for me, I use lemon juice almost as much as I do salt and pepper.
Oh, wow.
Makes a difference, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. So just to serve, yeah, we should be ready. If you're happy with the flavors of that, if you want to add a bit more soy or something, then, you know, that's up to you. But normally it's the same. We'd have some noodles in the bottom of the dish, just pre-cook them as it says on the packet. But today, trying to keep it simple. And for lunch, it's fine. We're going to put a nice spoonful of our... Oh, it just smells so good, doesn't it? Of our mushroom and veggies in a bowl.
Oh, smells amazing. Yeah?
Yeah, it does. It just smells, I can't explain it, but you've seen how quickly we brought that together. What was it? 15 minutes?
Yeah. You
want to layer some of your lovely chicken in the top of the bowl.
Yeah.
Some lovely fresh herbs. Sprinkle over your fresh herb, coriander and basil. And I'm going to put a little bit of fresh chili on the top of mine because I love chili. And you can finish with a little dash of your sesame oil. And then I want you to taste it. Obviously put some of your pak choi in there. And see what you think. So it all looks really pretty and fragrant. As I say, you can put fresh green sprouts in it. Anything you got, really. But I'm interested for you to taste this.
Oh.
Do you like it?
Oh my God. Oh my God, Jane, that is amazing. Wow. You know, when you sort of tasting it and going, I'll be honest, I'm tasting it and going, I'm thinking, I'm not, and then all of a sudden,
together. I think the lemon juice helps it a lot. Obviously, you can make it more substantial, as we spoke about, but the base is there. You can add more lemongrass, more chili, more mushroom, whatever you want into it, but that's just a great base to work on to build a stock for yourself.
Oh my God, Jane, thank you so much. That is amazing. You've raised the bar now. I'm not quite sure what we're going to be able to do next time. But thank you all for watching. Please follow Jane Devonshire on Twitter and Instagram. She's amazing. She does lots of amazing ingredients and recipes. Has got a fantastic book for Celiac UK. Really raises vital awareness to be able to bring everybody with food allergies together to be able to enjoy the love of food. And also for us, Seed Support UK. I'm Gemma Urton. We are fighting for you to have fun in the kitchen. Take care. Lots of love.